Right now, the Zoom is not working, so it'll just be, so we had, I think we had 2 department head members that were going to Zoom in on the meeting, so Amy Smith's trying to work that out, so we'll start with Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'll ask for a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. At this time, we'll open the public hearing for 5 Forks Development Corporation site plan approval. Donna, take the notice.
Notice is hereby given that the Town Board of the Town of Lewiston will hold a public hearing on November 28th, 2022 at Town Hall, 1375 Ridge Road, Lewiston, New York, at 6 p.m. concerning the application of 5-4 Development Corp., Washington Drive, Lewiston, New York, SBL number 88.13-1-20 for site plan approval in connection with a concept plan and rezoning for a planned unit development. At the public hearing, all interested parties who wish to be heard will be heard by order of the Town Board, November 14th, 2022.
Thank you. Just a reminder, we have 3 people that have signed up. You'll have 5 minutes to speak your piece. We'll start with John Murniak.
Subdivision?
Yes.
John Murniak, 716 Ridge Road. Listen, my point here, this development, is the same as when we fought the issue with Dominic Massaro's development in terms of rezoning in order for them to build what they want to build. Okay, now the town claims to not rezone properties, but yet you did it with Dominic Massaro, not what he's doing here. I mean, for anybody that wants to talk, you're wasting your breath, because they're going to just go ahead and approve this. This town board does not really listen to what the residents have to say in the state.
Thank you. Lynn Stevens.
I live at 834 Madison Avenue. I don't have an issue with the site itself. It's the traffic through my street that I'm concerned about. It's a very quiet street. I know there's several apartments in that complex, probably over 100. It means at least 100 cars, maybe 150, 2 bedrooms. So all that traffic going up and down a quiet street is my concern. If there's anything that can be done to minimize that, appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much. And Terry Santoro, I believe, I hope I said that right?
You did. I just want the left-handed writing, sorry about that. I'm Terry Santoro. I live at 833 Madison. And again, I understand that you're probably going to rezone. I get that. My main concern is I live on a quiet street. I have 5 grandkids. It's the traffic. I work overnights at the air base, 12-hour shifts. I go in at 6 at night and get off at 7 in the morning. Right now, the last 3 weeks, I haven't been able to sleep because we're tearing something down across the street from me. You know, the noise, the traffic. I bought this house specifically because I was the only one on this side. There was an empty lot next to me. And as of right now, I know that lot's not for sale, or I haven't seen it for sale. But it's nice and quiet. My kids, my grandkids, learned how to ride their bikes up that street. If we can make that into a dead end, you know, a roundabout, a cul-de-sac, something, that would help. Because it is a very quiet street. Right now, we just got our 4th house on her. I mean, that's just how quiet it is. With the cars coming up, I worry about the safety of my grandchildren. And they're pretty good about looking both ways. But you get a car coming up a creek road, driving like a maniac, which we all know happens sometime on these streets. you know, so if we can get like a cul-de-sac and make it a dead-end road, that's what I want.
When you say a dead-end road, which road are you referring to?
Madison Ave. Madison Ave, right now, it goes down, and it runs right into Washington. If we
Right.
can make that into a cul-de-sac where the people, wherever those apartments are, aren't gonna be going down Madison Ave, going in and out.
That's my concern as well. I live right across the street.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
That's what I'm looking at, just for the safety of my grandkids. And honestly, last week, one day, I got 2 hours of sleep. I shouldn't have to deal with all this noise and then go work at the air base a 12-hour shift on 2 hours of sleep. That's not healthy. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Giussiana, would you want to add anything to it? You didn't sign up on the list, but did you want to talk about it?
Sure, by default. No, the traffic concerns have been some concerns from early on, and the planning board actually early on had some design changes. So originally, we had looked at a much more linear, rectilinear design, and I think there was some concern about potentially that becoming something that would actually kind of promote faster traffic and the introduction of the curves and things, especially the turning curves. Hopefully sort of alleviate some of that drive-through. This is not a cut-through, so more of a destination. I think we had some conversation before too about maybe some additional stop signs at Madison and Washington. I know that through the CEDAR process that the DOT was contacting, and at one point there really was no stop sign.
DOT had no comment. In fact, did not even respond.
What did the fire bureau say? Did they have an opinion?
Well, at that point, that was some of their early on comments, and then the idea of changing to the more, sorry. More sort of linear
Type yes
route.
to that. Please.
The rest of their concerns were the normal fire hydrants and those type of things were relatively designed. I think everyone was more pleased with the meandering route. The difficulty with Madison compared to Jefferson, where the inlets are into this back property, this being, Creek Road being up here, of course, this is Washington. And then this is Jefferson, this is Madison. Madison unfortunately does the connection from Washington to that back property lines directly to Madison. Where at Jefferson, at least, there is an offset between where Jefferson meets Washington and then where the entrance to this complex would be. So there's a very mindful, dedicated transition between the two, where again, Madison is a bit of a through route into that complex. And just because of the ownership of the properties next door, there's really nothing else we can do. And then back to your fire, the idea of actually having a cul-de-sac longer than, I think, 650 or 750 feet tends to be the limiter, so we really wouldn't be even to be able to develop this if we did this.
Oh, I believe the two ladies are not asking for a cul-de-sac inside the project.
Right.
They're looking for a cul-de-sac outside the project.
Right, which again, that's
Oh,
all
yeah, it's a
town property or
roundabout.
private property with
Right.
all sorts of other owners, and that's nothing to do with by-for development, so we should,
Okay.
really don't have control.
And I know when you went to you've gone to the planning board at least twice, right? Yeah. And I know there's been a lot of changes to the original project. I know I had some input on some of the things, and you worked with the planning board to change a lot of it, add amenities, and change some of the footprint. So I know this has been an ongoing process. So does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Giussiana?
Yeah, I have a question. Do you need Madison for your development? Do you need that street?
Well, to be able to fully service the property, yes. I mean, the concern would be if we only had one entrance in and out. then it would
There's
be-
no other provision for it?
No. And this harkens back to the original development of this. When we proposed all the properties, including the properties that two ladies were talking about, this was all one big parcel.
Yeah.
Other than a few Creek Road frontage parcels, where my old house was on the corner of Jefferson and then all of Madison, all of Washington. That was all developed by my family with the intention of transitioning between single-family homes at Creek, duplexes along Madison Jefferson, 4, 6, and 8 family on Washington, to then transition to a full, at that point, 126 unit complex.
Yeah.
30 years ago. It wasn't for the wetlands issues we had that came up right during construction of that, we would actually have 126 units of apartments. And the reason for the rezoning is the fact that at some point in that history, that the town did lose its multifamily zoning. And so at this point, in order to get the full sort of value of our property and to resurrect the original intent of the whole subdivision from Creek all the way through here, we have to go through the planning and development process. That's why we're here.
Right. Well, I know you did all these, attended a few planning board meetings. I know you tried everything you could to accommodate all the problems.
I think there'd be a lot to say. I know it doesn't necessarily solve the Madison Avenue problem, but the whole idea of the traffic light at Jefferson, because Jefferson's entrance also lines to the Hickory Stick entrance.
Right.
That's a very serious interchange.
Yeah.
So I can actually see the town promote that, slow traffic, then also it would slow Madison traffic as well.
Jefferson is down.
Where
Jefferson comes out to Creek.
Right, just go straight out. And again, it applies
Right.
almost directly with Hickory Sticks.
I think that was part of the plan when Hickory Stick was looking for an exit out of the property. They lined it, so they had some foresight.
Right. Again, it'd be a perfect place for a traffic light.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anybody else have any questions?
Isn't there 3 exits to that property? I'm only seeing 2. Am I missing something?
Yeah.
Well, the properties both come to Madison, or to Washington, I'm sorry, to be able to go out Madison, and be able to go out Jefferson, and then continue down Washington to what they're next going Oriole. And then
Yeah.
Creek Road that way. So yes, technically, there are 3 ways to get out to Creek Road from this complex.
Well, what's the third way?
Oriole.
Is that where you get into Blair Woods?
Woods of Blair.
Woods of Blair Road.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, 30 years ago, I asked what was the route to get to Swan Road.
Well, we don't have any of the properties.
No,
that
but
way.
if somebody does some of the way, there's going to be development that way heading north, presumably, at some point in the future.
Yeah.
This is way aside, but I
Right.
think there's a problem with that piece of property that they sold off their frontage. So
Yes.
that's the next connection, the next north property to Swan.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's all the people that signed up for it. Does anybody else want to have anything to add to the public hearing for 5-4 Development Corporation?
I have one more question.
Go ahead, stand up, please.
Is there, and I don't even want to come loud, isn't there an empty lot on Creek Road that you could build through that to go into that complex?
On Creek Road, no.
Yeah, there's an empty lot on Creek Road, on the right, on the same side. It's on-
South of Madison,
Yes.
right, because I think even if you put a road through there, basically behind Lynn's property, you'd be going to the back.
No, it's past Madison, going towards Newport School.
Oh, so again, that's way outside our property.
It'll be before
Property owner.
Swan Road.
That wouldn't even get us to this back property.
So Madison, it's a direct, so that's going to be the main route in and out. So we're going to have, how many apartments are going up?
168.
168. So right there's a minimum of 168 vehicles. Not mentioning there's, most people have a two-home vehicle of going down that road. I just think that's a safety valve. I just think it's,
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Luciano. We can motion to close the public hearing.
Move to close the public hearing.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. And just, there'll be no action taken on the project tonight. So it'll be tabled until the work session on the 12th.
Mr. Broderick?
Yes. Yes.
I have a question. How many more subdevelopments do you think will be put in Lewiston in the next 5 to 10 years?
I have no idea. I mean, currently we have one off of Bronson Drive. Legacy in Northridge is going, a project that's ongoing. You have this project that's proposed. You have a project that's actually already on paper. Do you go to Newport?
Yeah.
So directly across from Lewiston Porter High School, that whole area between Creek and Calkins is a subdivision that already has the homes mapped out. It just kind of died. So to answer your question, it all depends on who comes in here, develops it. These houses sell. Will somebody come in and build more? It's just one of those things. And then you have one in Porter. You have one on Lower River Road on Porter. I mentioned
Did you?
yeah. So I'm trying to think off the, the village is pretty much out of property. Yeah. And, well, Perry's kind of, we approved another small subdivision off of, was West Park. So there's probably 4 or 5 on paper right now.
Are people not really taking liking to the progressiveness of Lewiston changing?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. So.
Thank you.
Yep. So with that, we will add the agenda. I'm sorry, agenda approval. I need to add November 3rd preliminary budget to the minute approval list.
Steve?
Yeah.
Is there, just have a moment, do we have general comments now?
Yeah, but we gotta do the agenda approval.
Mr. Supervisor?
Yep.
I want to add one police hire under my,
Okay.
And I want to add recreation and senior center.
Okay. Can I get an agenda approval as amended?
So move.
second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Resident statements, I don't have anybody that signed up for resident statements. Department head statements, Town Clerk Garfinkel.
Okay. I have placed in your packets a request to, in regards to the Dickersonville Cemetery rules and regulations. Number 2, we would requesting to have the cost of said deeds for town residents be $500 per plot, and non-residents be $700 per plot. And then also add the opening and closing of the grave to be done by Town of Lewiston workforce at a fee of $500.
And just to go over that, Donna and I have talked on this. I think we charge $300 a plot for residents and $400 for non-residents, and we're way behind the times. We also had an individual company that would dig the graves, and it was one employee, and we had issues with just like workers' comp and all that. So we had a situation where our workers went out and dug a small grave and said that they could do it on a regular basis. So number 3 will be brand new. Our town employees would do the opening and the closing of the grave. Donna and I talked about a fee. This is actually cheaper than what the gentleman would charge that was doing it before, but it always can be increased in the future. And the $500 per plot and the $700 for non-residents was in line with other townships. So I just wanted to let you know that Donna and I talked about it. So I would ask for a motion to apply these changes as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
A motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And Highway Superintendent Zano is excused. I'll handle his. He has his storage building. The roof needed to be redone. He put out for 3 bids. He actually had money left over from his chipping account that came in under budget. So he got 3 bids, and he would like us to approve Parco Building Systems at $61,350. I talked with Jackie. He does have it in his budget, and we would be all set there.
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, Ms. Lana, anything? Okay. Deputy Supervisor Conrad, anything? Dan Zano, anything? Nothing. Let's see here. Jeff Ritter.
Nothing at this time, Mr. Supervisor.
Okay. Melinda?
Hi, I'm here.
Okay. Go ahead. I hope you're feeling better.
A lot of fun things planned for December. Christmas lunch, wear your Christmas sweater. We're doing the New Year's Eve party on the 30th. And we're doing the mitten tree and collecting for kids at Newport. We'll be buying board games this year.
Good. Excellent. Okay, I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
And Kathy she's under the weather as well. She's not on the Zoom, but
I was going to talk about ice skating.
yeah. But Councilman Guyban will address her some good things that are happening in that department when he comes out. So moving on to approval of the meeting minutes, the work session for November 14th.
Move for approval as printed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And our November 3rd preliminary budget meeting minutes.
Move for approval as printed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Audit payment, Councilman Myers.
Move to approve the regular abstract claims number 22-03199 through 22-03321 and recommend payment in the amount of $878,917.35 plus a post audit of $5,143.40.
That's a motion, I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. The Wilco Auto special use permit is still going to be tabled, and the transfer of the right-of-way to Ianucci. Attorney
It'll
Bax.
also be tabled.
Yeah.
I expect that we'll be able to put it on our next agenda and take some action on it. I did speak with Ms. Ianucci's attorney as late as this morning, and I believe we've come to terms on the transfer. So.
Okay, good, thank you. New business, residents, public correspondence. Anything? The site plan approval, that'll be tabled till the work session on December 12th. Under Supervisor Broderick, the budget revisions. Again, Jackie Agnello could not be here tonight. She presented budget revisions. I would ask for a motion as presented.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Councilman Guyban.
Just two things. Well, Melinda talked about the rec center, or probably the senior citizens center. They're very active out there. Lots of things are happening. It was nice that John showed up for Thanksgiving. You didn't get a dinner, no, did you?
Well, I wasn't looking to eat. I talked to, they're starting to look a lot like me. Now I'm starting to look like them.
Well, again, Melinda encourages you all to drop by at any time just to say hello. Very, very active out there. And right now, sometimes activities are overlapping. People are coming in while one is finishing up. It's very popular, and hopefully we can continue to expand it. Recreation, just thrilled about how well the ice skating has gone. Cooperation with Niagara University is outstanding. The amount of participation from both adults and the youth, they're out there, they enjoy the ice, they enjoy the availability of the ice skates, the snack bar is right there, the ice is solid, the space is good. We've had 3 events so far out there, and all 3 have been a success, and I look forward to a great season all the way through.
And everybody on our Facebook page, Town Lewiston Recreation, is a full list of all the dates that are up at Niagara University. I think December 2nd is the next date. And we're in the works with some local businesses to possibly sponsor some days at the ice rink to include more free days, so.
It's, when Newport is off, there will be afternoon activities out at the ice rink. It's quite nice.
Yep.
So I'm very pleased at how that worked out.
Okay. Councilman Jacoby.
We have a new hire in the police department, who's a part-time officer, and his name is Coy Bowie. It's spelled Khoi, last name Bowie, B-U-I. And the effective date would be 11/29/22, which is tomorrow. And he'll be hired as per the contract of pay rate.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
That's all I have.
Okay. Sewer refunds. Councilman Morial.
Yeah, I have a sewer forgiveness for Shannon and Robert Philbrook, 4811 East Eddy Drive. They're asking for a sewer forgiveness of $40.50, and this was okayed by Jeff Ritter. And I'd like to make a motion to okay it.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's all. Well, I'll give you an update. National Grid is just about finished with 80 decorative lights. They're replaced to LED, which is going to be a savings to the town every year on electrical costs. And we're also looking at 4 new cars to update the fleet, and we're waiting for some prices on that. And that's all that's going on right now.
The 4 new cars are going to be electric cars.
Yeah.
So we have the new charging station coming?
Yeah. And they're going to be hybrids.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Councilman Myers?
I just wanted to mention again, I mentioned at the last meeting, that Sanborn Historical is having their Christmas at the farm, which is a great event for the kids in the community to come out. It's December 10th and 11th, from 11 to 4. They're at the Farm Museum, and kids from 2 to 10 years old each receive a free gift from Santa.
What date? I'm sorry.
The 10th and 11th.
So I won't get a free gift.
I have a flyer in my office.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much. In upcoming boards, commission meetings, Historic Preservation is December 8th at 5:45 p.m. Environmental Commission, December 8th at 7 p.m. Town Board Work Session, December 12th at 6 p.m. And Zoning Board of Appeals is December 15th at 6:30 p.m. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Would you please mention the activities for the Christmas walk and the Christmas light parade?
Well, the Christmas lighting is this Friday at 7 p.m. at Academy Park. The Christmas walk is, what, 11:30?
Right.
This on Saturday at
And
Academy
Friday,
Park.
Friday.
Friday's the Christmas lighting, Saturday's the Christmas walk, correct?
I believe some of the businesses will be ready by the 4th, on Friday also.
Okay.
And then we have the parade on
Sunday.
Sunday.
The light parade at,
And the Lewiston Recreation Group will be in the parade.
right. What time's the parade start?
5:30, I think.
Okay. Okay. So still need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? Can I get a second?
Second, I'm sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Anybody need any paper signed?